There are some of you right now in this crowd, not even some of you, and actually I'm gonna step a little bit closer. Oh shit, never mind. Can't do that. There's a cord here. Some of you, most of you, have never ever been that fucking vulnerable in your life. I really want you to understand what I'm saying here, and don't clap, don't do any of that shit. I'm just gonna be very real with you. There are some of you in positions right now that would never come up here and grab this mic because you have a job. And that job is this certain status quo that doesn't allow you to be yourself. There's this fake narrative that you guys live on a regular basis that doesn't allow you to be people. That doesn't allow you to connect with yourself. That literally hides, that helps you hide on a regular basis. It literally helps you hide. Like, you guys know how mice don't just crawl out in the open. What they do is they scurry along the walls. Like, they hit corners, they literally turn the corner like fucking boop, just like that. That's what you guys do. For you guys to have an opinion would mean that you might have to sacrifice money. And you guys don't want to do that, right? You don't want to do that, because if you do that, then what? You're a good person. You might actually be liked by one of us criminals. You might have to conform to be a better human being. There might be a scenario or a situation where, oh shit, you realize black people really aren't threatening at all? Guys, the last 2 fucking months of my life, and I'm sorry kids, I know there's kids here, I'm gonna be honest with you. The last 2 months, I have been labeled threatening, I have been labeled abusive, all because of what I'm doing right now. Calling the bullshit out, looking you guys in your faces and literally saying, you're fucked up. That's an issue to some people. That's an issue to some people. And I wish this individual that I am up here talking about right now was here. And before in Burlington, in Montpelier, in South Royalton, I didn't speak there, but in South Royalton, all these different places that I went to, outside of going to the Craftsbury Outdoor Center, I have never uttered the words Yvette Bathalon in my fucking life. Never. As much bullshit as that woman put me through, I never downplayed who she was by her name. I had only ever spoke about who this individual turned me into. And when I say turn me into, that's not a negative, like she didn't turn me into a fucking, like a negative person. She turned me into a fucking beast. An animal that can actually understand the difference between right and wrong. A person that is willing to call out the bullshit. You guys have all seen me how I am around children. You guys have seen how I am around people. I'm everywhere. There. I try to communicate with everybody. If you're here because of me, or if you're here because of Trey, if you're here because of anybody, Owen, you name it, I've tried to introduce myself. I've tried to come up to you guys and give you guys, again, I don't know you. So essentially I'm coming up to you to shake your hand, to give you the benefit of the doubt. But Yvette Bathalon, I know that you're not here right now. Mom, I know that you're not here right now. But this is, I want to thank you. I want to thank you. Myself, Martha, went to your house. We asked you if you would come out here today to speak on behalf of your son, Tyler Bathalon, who is currently locked up because of a Karen. I'm not even going to go into that. Most of you know what a Karen is, though, so I shouldn't have to go into that. Kid's been locked up for, it's July what again? July 18th. By the way, tomorrow's my birthday. Yippee. Don't say nothing. It's all good. Fuck, I'm getting old. Jesus Christ. He's locked up. It's July 18th. That means he's been in jail for literally a year. Been in jail for over a year. For a Karen. Mom, I asked you to come speak on his behalf today. And you responded to myself, you responded to Martha, you will never go to a black protest. Mom, Yvette Bathalon, you responded, you will never go to a black protest. Which is almost fucking hilarious because I've never been to a white one a day in my life. I didn't know that that's what these protests were. We talk about systematic racism. Yvette Bathalon. When I left the house, Martha and I went to the police station just to check up on everything that's going on because obviously we wanted the police to be informed that we were going to be here. When Martha and I went to the police station, the Newport City Police Office, the sergeant walked out, handed a paper to the cop that we were talking to. That paper was a relief from abuse form that you filled out on behalf of the conversation that took place at your house. You filled out a relief from abuse form because I was abusing you mentally and emotionally. That's what you were saying. And then you decided to lie on it. You decided to lie on it and say, Anthony kicked in the door as I was hiding in my room. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the paper. Martha's looking at the paper. In my soul, I was so fucking mad, but the madness, the anger, all of that came out in the form of a smile, in the form of like literally the most painful smile I've ever had to give Martha, simply because I couldn't believe, but no, the thing is I could believe my mother, Yvette Bathalon, would do some bullshit like that. So, this week, on Tuesday, excuse me, I had to go up in front of a judge. As the judge, Mom, I'm talking to you. As the judge, as the judge went through the hour and a half of listening to my sister, Theta Bathalon, Shelly Bathalon, Danielle Bathalon, Jean, my dad, Bathalon, again, Yvette Bathalon, you're sitting there. As my dad went through as the judge went through speaking to all of you, the only person that he had left to speak to was Martha, who was literally the only person in the house at the time, who was the only witness to the scenario and the situation at the time. He asked me, Anthony, do you have any witnesses? The judge looked at me and asked, Anthony, do you have any witnesses? And I said, yes, I do. I was like, Martha, she was actually there. Before he took a recess, listen to what I'm saying, everyone here. Before he took a recess, his exact words were, I don't think I'm gonna need to speak to her. If you guys don't understand what I'm saying right now, my dad, my mom, Shelly, my sister, Danielle, my sister, Vita, my sister, all of you tried to fucking bury me in a courtroom. And the judge literally looked at all of you and said, I don't even think I need to speak to the individual, the only individual that was in the fucking house, in Martha. Because that's how much of a landslide victory it was. Because even my parents, I watched my dad sit there as the judge asked him, do you want to have a relationship with your son Anthony? I watched him say, mind you, I'm standing here, his back was basically turned to me, he couldn't look at me. I watched this man say, no. Okay, that works for me. However, I watched this judge walk out of the courtroom, walk back in, and basically tell Yvette Bathalon to stop using the fucking system to handle her personal fucking problems. So if you guys don't understand what he was just saying, Trey was just saying, and how real how real this shit is, you're fucking crazy. Because this is happening right up the fucking road. And yes, I'm pissed. I'm pissed because right now I'm having to sit with the discomfort. I'm having to sit with pain, hurt. I have to look all of you in the face and just be this person that can stand up and invite everybody out here to speak. I have to be that strong, but I'm in fucking pain right now. It is so hard for, like, you guys, give me a second.
Come on, Anthony. You got it. Come on, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, I'm in pain. One of the smartest men I've ever met in my life, Mr. Evans, Mr. Tom Evans. If you guys are gonna give anybody a round of applause, please give Mr. Evans right there in the pink shorts and the top hat right there. He's dancing right now. Give him a round of applause, please. Give him a round of applause, please. The reason why I asked that is simply because he came to the courtroom. He came to the courtroom. He had no business even fucking being there. Came to the courtroom and he sat with me. And this man grabbed my hand and he looked me dead in the face and he said, "You have everything to lose right now. You need to stay focused. It needs to be tunnel vision on what is happening. You need to stay focused on what's on that paper that you know is bullshit." And that man got me through it. Like he really, Martha, you too, they got me through the bullshit, the hell that I was going through on that day. So please give them both, Martha included, a round of applause. I was not expecting to speak this long. However, I do want to say this one last thing to Yvette Bathlon. You're dead to me. Like you are truly dead to me, and I have to mourn that loss. The idea that you're still alive, but I have to mourn the loss of you is painful. But at the same time, like now I can get up. Now I can get past this because I found out. I watched you try to dismantle me, and I found out that I'm way fucking stronger than I thought I was when I went into that courtroom. So thank you.